Hey, what's up? I'm Josh Pono with Pono Wisdoms. If you're struggling from burnout from prospecting and you feel unorganized, you feel like every time you go into your garage or CRM of leads and you're calling people and you don't know what to say and it's not working out well and you feel like you're following up too much and then you're just having trouble picking the phone up and getting after it every day, this is the video for you. We go in detail with an agent in the office. She is struggling with the same exact thing. She's calling internet leads, she's calling Zillow leads, realtor.com leads, and she's feeling this. We break it down very simply of how to organize it, how to status these leads, and most importantly, how to get more effective with every follow-up. This one's going to be a lot of value if you're dealing with this issue. Be well. And by the way, if you're interested in leveling up your skill set, in getting phenomenal in sales and making sure that you get the most effective way to prospect, subscribe to that channel, smash that subscribe button. We're delivering a massive amount of content and it's going to help you elevate your sales game to get more clients, build your business, and build a bigger life, the one by design that you want. Be well. I'm Josh Pono. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.
I guess honestly, what I would say is I have heard you speak about this before, but I'm feeling a little burnt out lately. I think maybe I'm following up too much, like setting my follow-ups too close together. Because some days it's just like pretty tough to get on the phone. So
So
that's really what I'm struggling with is burnout.
yep. So burnout is a real thing that happens pretty often if you're not careful. And so it's a recipe of things. I remember one time I was working at Boomtown and I had been selling websites and lead generation for about 8 years at that point to real estate agents. And one of the guys that had been doing it for a year, he's like, "Man, I'm really burned out." He's like, "Josh, they kind of looked at me as like Superman sometimes because I would always put on that show when I would go to work. I would put all my problems aside and just kind of go in there." And he was like, "Dude, do you ever get burned out?" I was like, "Oh yeah, like 3-4 times a year I get burned out for like 3-4 weeks at a time sometimes." And that's where being an entrepreneur is challenging, is that you got to keep going no matter what. Otherwise, you run into the risk of, like I've been burned out a lot, and my wife used to look at me and she's like, "Well, maybe it's real estate, maybe you want to do something else." And I always just had this mindset of like, there is nothing else. Like, there's nothing else. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and this is
Yeah.
I've come too far. Like, what am I going to go start somewhere else and start all over with all the knowledge and experience? Like, this is the path, right? Um,
Hmm.
and so when you're following up, are you burning? So when you really feel the burnout, are you calling people when you say you're following up too much? So are you is a bulk of your prospecting and following up coming from leads that you have called multiple times and not connected with?
Or they're just not looking right now is not a good time, or they haven't found I guess I should identify where they are in the stage and then place them in a proper follow-up schedule instead of just following up so much.
Burnout can sometimes come from wandering aimlessly. And what it sounds like is you're following up just to follow up because that's what you're supposed to do, and you internally know it, and it doesn't feel good because it's like you understand internally that there is no intentionality to it. So what it sounds like is, I'd ask you the question, do you feel organized? Do you feel like you're pulling everything out of the garage and organizing everything into a bucket to know exactly where everything's at? Or do you feel like you're just searching through a garage trying to find something?
Yeah, it could be the latter. I could probably get more organized in the system.
So, do you have any formal sales training prior to real estate? I should
I,
rephrase that. Do you have any formal sales training other than this stuff that you're coming to?
yes, I do.
What
I
is
used to be in I used to be in phone sales when I lived in Tucson, Arizona, um, for Dun and Bradstreet, and it was extensive sales training, phone sales training. We sold business products over the phone.
all right? So, when when you're going through burnout, you want to take a step back and look at what you're doing. And when you're working with a lot of leads, you don't want to just endlessly call them over and over again. So there's a few things you can do to help get yourself back on track. One is you want to have your buckets, right? So you want to be able to work the same type of leads, get in, get out, and get through your prospecting session efficiently, so you can move on to the next task that's a dollar productive activity that you can do. So when you're working your leads, you're always going after timeline, right? Like you don't want to just be like, okay, cool, well, I'll call you in 3 weeks. Anything change? I'll call you in 3 weeks. Anything change? You want to reach out to them, and you want to find out, hey, if you had a magic wand and you could find the perfect home at the perfect price on the perfect timeline, when would you be in your house? Hey, are there any critical life events that are coming up that would be a convenient time for you to make the move? Okay. And typically a lot of agents will get really complex with this, but really you've got like your hot people that, hey, I want to start looking in the next 90 days. Then you've got your like nurturers where they're like, I want to start looking in the next 90 to 180 days. And then it's like, you got your long-term, which is I'm 6 to 12 months out. Okay, so in every CRM, you can tag or status, and they've got hot leads, they've got all these different statuses. You can also tag them hot, nurture, long-term. So when you're reaching out to these people, and you can even, if you're not somebody who's like a sales guru or got the gift of gab, you can simply say, hey, would you say that you're like hot to get into a house? Like you really want to get into a house soon? Would you say you're more of like, it's going to take some time to nurture the things going on in my life to get it into position? Or would you say this is kind of a long-term dream? Gotcha. Right. Now step 2 is find the next check-in point. Okay, great. So this is a long-term thing. What is holding you back, or why would you categorize yourself as a long-term lead? Or why would you say you really want to get going now? Because if you know the timeline and you know what's holding them back, you know what your next check-in point is. Well, I get a job promotion in 3 months. Oh, fantastic. So if you get the job promotion, that'll make you more motivated to move. Well, yeah, if I get the job promotion, I'm in. Fantastic. Why don't I check in with you in 3 months? Hey, right. that would be great. Step 3, make sure they have an agent or they don't have an agent. Hey, out of curiosity, do you have an agent that you exclusively love, trust, respect, and know can get you a phenomenal deal on a home while providing you amazing service? No, I don't. Or, well, I've got my friend. Great. Are you exclusively committed to him like marriage? Well, no, it's up in the air. Gotcha. So if you knew you could get phenomenal service, you knew you could get phenomenal results, and it would be an amazing experience, you'd be at least open to having a conversation to making sure you're getting the best results. Yeah, I'd be open to it. Fantastic. Then I've got you marked down as a longer term client, so I'm not going to bug you. I'm going to call you around 3 months, hopefully to wish you congratulations on that new promotion. And when I call you back, if you've been promoted, I'm going to give you 3 strategies that'll make sure you're getting the best results with your real estate representation. How does that sound? Fantastic. Hang up the phone, make your notes, add the tag, put the task for 3 months, and now that one is organized like a nice garage that you just pulled everything out of.
Yes, right.
You're rinsing and repeating that formula. Now, little bonus tip is for those people, once a month, put it in your calendar. Once a month, do a quick 1-minute video, or do like a 1-minute like little email read of what's going on in the market, and send it out to all your hots, your nurtures, and your long terms via your marketing system, your CRM. How difficult are those steps to do?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now you've just started to put a system in place where you're organizing stuff, you're putting them in their boxes. So then when your task comes up, you know what's up. And then you can work and you can focus on your time blocks. So you're like, cool, I'm calling all my nurtures today, or I'm calling all my tasks today. You get in, you're only calling the people you haven't connected with yet to get them on the line, and you're only calling the people that have relevant follow-up needed. And once a month, you're staying relevant by just saying, hey, everybody, it's Kendra, your rock star real estate agent. Here's what's going on in the market. Here's how it's impacting what pricing is going to do. Be well. If you have any questions, let me know.
That's good.
Now, get that in place, and then you can talk about adding all these other things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you build good habits, you build a building block. So step one, from now on, you're just going to shift your mindset of like, all right, cool. I'm going to I got kind of an unorganized garage. It's frustrating. I'm burned out. All right, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to pull everything out. I'm going to go through all my leads. And from now on, I'm going to organize them. Are they hot? Are they nurture? Are they long-term? I'm going to find out their timeline. I'm going to find out what's important about that timeline. What's the critical life event? Why is that timeline important to them? And then I'm going to set my task for a follow-up after I make sure that there's at least opportunity. Because you don't want to call somebody 4, 5, 6, 7 months later and they're like, oh, I had an agent. You should have never followed up with me.
Right.
Keep in mind too, how long you been in real estate?
I'll be going into 3 years this year.
The first 4 are the hardest. The first 4 are the hardest. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep
For sure. I'm like you. There's no other option.
Tony Robbins said, if you want to take an island, burn the boats.